is meteorologist Mark Molnar. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Northeastern. We're going to get right into weather. All of you are going to see spring, winter, or everything in between this week. And will you see that big slap in the face to start off the week here after last week's record warmth? Will you see a good commute Monday morning, or will it feel so wintry you won't even want to get out of bed? Well, let's get right into it. We're going to have a lot of factors concerning this, from the blizzard that's ongoing here in the Rocky Mountains and North Central Plains that will be spreading east, weakening, and then potential for some East Coast development Tuesday, but the pattern pretty much remains progressive enough for that system to move off the East Coast. And then a common theme occurring, another low pressure system will push a lot of severe weather into the central and southern plains during the day on Tuesday. Lots of tornadoes, hail, wind damage. And guess what? That low pressure system, you guessed it, it moves to the east. And guess what it does? It tries to form a coastal low. So for those of you that are still hoping for that last snowstorm, that last finale, you have the potential here. The window is narrowing, but we have that potential. And I want to make note of that. And we have a big blocking pattern developing this week, especially across the north into parts of the Great Lakes and the Northeast. But I wanted to throw that out for you, for those people that still love snow and you want that last one. Also, for you people that are waiting for spring and you don't want to be slapped in the face anymore from wintertime, I do have some good news for you, because the week after, we start to change the pattern a bit more. So let's get right into it, shall we? Taking a look at mid to late week here, I am skipping ahead here for this next system that could develop into something very interesting. This takes us from Wednesday, March 17th, all the way through the weekend of next weekend, where some sort of coastal development tries to occur here. Let's take a look at how this low pressure system evolves. We'll initially see this low following right behind the big blizzard here in parts of South Dakota, Wyoming, Colorado, and Nebraska here. So as this storm system rides out of the southern plains, it'll take a more southerly track, spreading possibly some sort of wintry precipitation across the northern fringe here, all to the lower Great Lakes come Thursday and into the mid-Atlantic and parts of the Northeast on Friday. It's really, later on in this forecast period, it's really tough to get into exactly where could see this wintry precipitation, but if the precipitation is heavy enough, the system could even manufacture its own cold air, which would be quite interesting. And then towards the 19th and 20th next weekend, Friday into Saturday, this is where we could see some sort of major blocking here. A lot of high pressure system to the north and to the east as the NAO index briefly goes on the neutral side here, from positive to neutral. It pretty much prevents any low pressure system from moving off progressively to the northeast, and kind of pushes it towards the southeast, or in some respects towards the southwest along the coast. So we'll have to watch for that here. Taking a look at the model data here, this takes us from Wednesday, the midpoint of the week, all the way through the weekend into Saturday morning. It's really interesting to see the models are pretty convergent here across the solution from the panhandle of Texas to Missouri, Illinois, and to parts of southern Ohio. Through Thursday morning, it's Thursday afternoon. It's Friday morning where things get a little bit more sketchy. Into Saturday morning, we have some sort of coastal development hinted by most of the, if not all the models. The GFS is interesting, as well as the Euro. It does keep the initial low pressure system intact, and then redevelopment of a coastal low. The Canadian is a complete and total weakening of the Ohio River Valley low, and then redevelopment of a second low pressure system just over inland North Carolina, zooming it to the northeast, and a third low pressure system redeveloping off the coastline and kind of retrograding. Most of the models are onto a solution that there will be a lot of blocking to the northeast. It will make it very difficult for any low pressure systems to move to the northeast during this forecast period. So there's going to be a lot of retrograding. This low pressure system might have a tendency to move towards the west and southwest at times. So this could make for a very complicated forecast scenario here. Very interesting, to say the least. And it also could, depending on how heavy the precipitation is along the coast or inland, could manufacture its own cold air and produce some sort of snow or wintry mix. So that's to look for here. This is a very interesting weather system, and I thought I'd make note of it here because this is going to be our next major weather system. NAO index, here we go. It's interesting. It's positive right now, but it's going to quickly go to the neutral phase through most of this week into the middle part of the month here. It's not until later next weekend we get that next storm. It starts to push more positive. So towards the end of March here, we'll probably start to really warm things up, and the pattern will become less conducive for a lot more major East Coast snowstorms. So our window of opportunity is shrinking for another major winter storm. I thought I'd just throw that out there for you. Taking a look at the GFS model run, I briefly want to show you the overall pattern here pretty quickly. Low pressure systems ejecting out of the southern and central Rockies into the plains, heading across the eastern part of the country. First one Tuesday tries to redevelop a coastal here, has very little success. Into the next one Friday into Saturday, another coastal tries to develop. The pattern will be for low pressure systems to ride across the Mississippi-Ohio River Valley weekend and try to redevelop a coastal. You see the high pressure systems very strong to the northeast here, and that blocking pattern will be a common theme going forward. And getting into snowfall here, this is basically through Sunday through Wednesday of this week. This is not covering the storm later in the week. There is that big blizzard there over there in Colorado, parts of Nebraska, South Dakota, Wyoming, and also stretching towards portions of southern Minnesota and Iowa here, where we'll see a swath of snow really develop, anywhere from 8 to as much as 15 inches of snow, especially just south of Minneapolis, St. Paul there. Stretching eastward, the system does weaken throughout the week. You see another bullseye here over parts of northern Vermont, northern New Hampshire, and into northern Maine here, where we could see 2 to 4 inches of snow. Most of central and southern Maine will see an inch or less out of this. Into parts of Catskills, Poconos, and Adirondacks, maybe up to an inch Tuesday morning into Tuesday afternoon, but nothing major here. And taking a look at the severe weather outlook here, this takes us mainly during the day on Tuesday. This is when that next low pressure system will be ejecting out of the Rocky Mountains. You can see it into the green zone, the light green zone. That's basically just your garden variety thunderstorms, nothing severe. More marginal in the darker green, but it's into the yellow, which is slight, and then of course the orange, which is enhanced risk, that we see a big concern here for damaging wind, large hail, and tornadoes, especially on Tuesday here across parts of eastern Kansas and much of Oklahoma here, where we could see the enhanced variety as this low pressure system becomes very vigorous and a lot of thunderstorms will be developing here. So the ingredients are there for a big severe weather outbreak here across the central and southern plains. And here it is, the precipitation totals here across North America. Look at this. Quite a bit in the way of heavy precipitation. A lot of this will be occurring across parts of the northern and central plains, eastern Rockies here with that blizzard, and then heavy snow to the north. Severe weather Tuesday across parts of the central plains, and then spreading eastward here. You see the northeast there, northern New England, kind of devoid of a lot of liquid totals here, keeping the systems riding further to the south, and then across the southeast here as well. West Coast continuing to remain moderately active here. And the pattern. Well, let's take a look at that. This takes us through most of the week. Now, this does not cover every day because we'll see, like towards the middle of the week, we'll see a warming trend. But the overall pattern from Sunday evening all the way through next Saturday, the overall general pattern remains a trough here across parts of the upper plains, parts of the northeast and New England, and southern jet stream pretty active here to the south, remaining moderately to the south here. No major large-scale areas of temperature anomalies on the negative or positive here. We will see a little bit below normal here across parts of the northeast, but most days will be near or just slightly above at times here, parts of the mid-Atlantic, through the plains and out west. And of course, the NAO index does go neutral this week briefly through most of the week, and then goes positive towards the third week of March. Trouble spot here for the Northeast. This was going to be on Friday morning. Confidence is still kind of low on this, but I wanted to make mention into the darker blue zone here, especially Friday morning. We could have the rain from Thursday evening changing over to a heavy wet snow Friday morning, and this could be accumulating snow, and it could impact the Friday morning commute at least with a couple inches, maybe more, but we'll keep it at a couple inches, 1 to as much as 3 inches at this point. So I thought I'd make mention of that here in the hazards. So there you have it: Erie, Binghamton, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, State College, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, New York City. You could be in the zone for the potential for rain to snow Friday morning. Taking a look at snowfall here across the Northeast. I'm primarily doing this for Tuesday because we'll have that system riding in here. And I know a lot of you are so sick of snow, but here it is for your Tuesday. Look at that. You got 1 to 2 inches of snowfall here across the Northeast interior section, Susquehanna Valley, Upper Hudson Valley, parts of the Catskills, Adirondacks, Alleghenies, and into Vermont, New Hampshire as well. Nothing beyond 3 inches from what I can see, though, at this point. And Wednesday morning across the Northeast. Look at that. Taking us through all of Monday. You will be slapped in the face as you go off to your morning commute because you'll think, oh, look at that sun. It's so beautiful. But you'll get outside and you'll be blasted with 25 to 35 mile per hour winds out of the northwest. And you will hear that howling wind and those cold wind chills below 10 degrees. So this is not looking that great. You will have the sun, though. So as long as you're in the sun, you'll feel its warmth. But yes, it will feel like a slap in the face after last week's nice weather that we had. And Tuesday across the Northeast. Look at this. That next system moving in. Just did you thought you were off the hook? We can't seem to have a perfect day. We either have sunny and cold and blasting winds, or we have warmer temperatures but precipitation moving in. The initial shot of this precipitation along the stationary front turning into a warm front could be in a mixture of some light ice, light sleet pellets, but it'll quickly change over to scattered rain showers throughout the day. Look at that. Getting up north, 47 near Pittsburgh, 40 in New York City. So a nice time of year to get out there to New York City. 40 degrees. We'll warm it up for you in the next frame. And there it is, Wednesday across the Northeast. This is probably the kind of day that you almost want to call out sick from work. Look at that. Nice sunny skies, above normal temperatures, sun and clouds mixture. The only thing we'll be looking at here that could be a little bit of a problem for the morning commute will be some scattered showers here across the New Jersey, Long Island, southern Connecticut, Rhode Island, and parts of eastern Massachusetts and Cape Cod towards Boston. But for the most part, that'll be clearing out by 9 or 10 a.m. And look at that. We'll scour out some clouds into some nice partly sunny skies. Beautiful day looking there in Central Park at 50 degrees. Even further west, Pittsburgh 55, Binghamton 54, and even Toronto not looking too bad on our Canadian side here, 49. And there it is, Thursday. You knew it was coming, didn't you? Yeah, you know it. Just before I continue here, look at this. You have to have one rainy day or wintry day throughout the week. And this is, we're going to have a 2-for-1 here. So hear me out here. Look at this Thursday. We have rain across the Northeast as this cold front pushes in from the northwest. And then off the screen, there is a stationary front just south of the Mason-Dixon line. This will be propagating precipitation throughout the day, mostly in the form of rain here across the Susquehanna River Valley, Allegheny, the Laurel Highlands, and into parts of southern New England. Parts of northeast New England here towards New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont. You'll have some mixing, some sleet pellets, and some mixing going in there. But for the most part, we will be okay. There won't be any major accumulation. But we'll see anywhere from 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of rain. And someplace where there's still, in the higher elevation, some snow melt going on, this could lead to some isolated areas of flooding and rivers and creeks near Bankful. So I just wanted to throw that out there for you. And here it is, extended outlook. Wow, we're all over the place. It's like roller coaster central here. Look at that. Monday, windy, cold, blustery, 32. Look at that. After a low of 9, that's like a major slap in the face. But look at this. By Tuesday and Wednesday, we start to warm it up. We'll have some rain and snow mixture scattered throughout the day on Tuesday, heading up near 43. No accumulation expected. And then look at that. Wednesday, we make it to the mid-50s. Sun and clouds. After starting a low of 32, which isn't too bad for this time of year. So get out there and enjoy it. It'll be a nice day. And then, because enjoy it, look at that. You knew it was coming, didn't you? Thursday and Friday. Look at that. Rain, possibly wind developing later in the day. 53, low 36, 1/2 inch of rain likely. Could bring those rivers and streams to near Bankful, but we've been melting pretty slowly in the Susquehanna River Valley. So that's good news. And at a Friday, we could be looking at the potential for rain or snow, or everything in between. 1 to 3 inches of snow I have down here. This is what we're going to have to watch here. Friday is a big wild card. 34, low 28. If the precipitation is heavier, this high would be lower. So let's stay tuned for that. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Northeastern. If you want to like my social media pages, don't forget to like me on Facebook at MeteoMark, Weather Northeastern, and also Hurricane Northeastern. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel. and MeteoMark.com and WeatherNortheastern.com. As always, I want to let you know I am coming out with my Hurricane 2021 outlook. Promises to be a very interesting season, so stay tuned for that. I'll be getting that out very shortly. As always, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notified when I come out with one of these updates. Also, leave a question or comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like that video and share on your social media platform with all your family and friends.